Hey everybody. Good evening. Who's with me? Say hi. Say hi, my friends. So glad that you're here. The hair. The hair is just a loss tonight, so I'm going to be fucking with it a lot. Tomorrow is hair washing day. I wasn't about to do it a day early. Let's start with a little bit of. I think I have to relight. Hold on. Hi, Stephanie. Welcome, dear. It's so good to see you. Woo. Let me just light up my sage again. So, how have you been, you guys? Let's do a real check in here. How have you been feeling the last whatever, the last week since I've seen you? How are you feeling? Hi, Becca. Hi, Sam. Yay! Yeah. Well, it's like, okay, when did I wash it? On, okay, wash it on Monday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's like the third day. Blah, blah, blah. And that's when I wash it again. So I offer you some sage. I offer me some sage. I offered the decks some sage. And you probably saw that I poured a little libation at the beginning here because I'm using fairy decks tonight. Wrong thing. Hold on. Here we go. Now you can see. Went for the fairy decks tonight. And I hope energy shifts a little bit. This Pisces moon, we're still in Pisces tonight. It should be probably in Aries by the time we're done. Let's see. Ah! Going really well. All right. Did you see this shit here? All right. So, moon goes into Aries at 9:21 my time. So we'll probably still be on when we shift. So if all of a sudden I pick up and you see me at the whole bunch of energy, it's because the moon just went into Aries. Okay. Hi, Lisa. Samantha, boy, do I hear that. In the world, but not of it lately. Yes, me too. I feel disengaged. I feel distanced. And I wonder, if this is just like a cyclic thing, part of where we are in the whole scheme of everything. I can tell you that I just finished watching Bo Burnham's special again called Inside, and I am now obsessed. I bought the album, and I'm kind of starting to peel back the layers now. Um, People in their 20s have gotten hit so hard with this special. If you don't know who Bo Burnham is, he is a musical comedian, a la Tom Lehrer, Tim Minchin. He's absolutely fucking brilliant. Such an incredible musician. He's 30. He turns 30 during this special, and he filmed it. He wrote it and directed it and shot it, all by himself over the year of the pandemic, and it's quite something. My kids initially, when they saw it, were like terrified because it's so raw, and he really just is, and doing it with his humor, but but he's very pointed. You know, it's like the rest of the musical humorists. They are the jesters that are allowed to say the things out loud that would get anybody else killed. You know, so he just, you know, he's calling it what it is and calling out society, and he's hilarious, and the music is wonderful, and he's amazing to watch. He spends an awful lot of time in his underwear. Um, and it's just amazing, but it's also very raw, and you know, he's talking about panic attacks and depression and all this kind of stuff, and letting you see, you know, what he went through the whole year. Eminently entertaining. You will be entertained the entire time, but it's really something, and it is ringing a bell with the people that are younger than him and people that are his age, and it's certainly ringing my bell. So if you haven't watched it, it's on Netflix, Bo Burnham Inside. You can also look at his channel on YouTube. I think he's got three of the songs up as videos, and the rest are up as just, you know, audio. But you want to watch it. You definitely want to watch it. I mean, shot it all in his little studio. He did all the light. He did everything, and he's a fucking genius. But and maybe it's ringing my bell right now because over the last 2 months, um, I've been digging into a part of my life, and some pretty murky times and mindsets and things, and it's been kind of rattling my cage a lot. So I've been feeling, yeah, like the Smothers Brothers, exactly. Um, a little sharper, a little pointier than the Smothers Brothers, but like, yes. Hi, Marcy. Welcome, sweetheart. Um, so yeah, you know, I'm feeling depressed. I'm feeling not engaged. I'm feeling worn down. I have this much physical energy. I know one of the things is missing prayer circle this last week. I really missed that reset, but you know, my back was out. So that's one of the things that started me down the, you know, down the slope there, is my back being out. When you've got to spend days on a couch rather than getting things done, it knocks your mood down some. And now I've fucked my hair up again. Here we go. Shall I go full crone and just let it be? Just let it do the thing. There. Okay, almost. So anyhow, um, we've got Mystic Fairy with us tonight, and we've got Froud Fairies with us tonight. And we have this one little card from the Mystic Fairies deck. So let's start here. Cyber snickerdoodles. Okay. Hold on, you guys. I mean, I'm having trouble connecting with my body. Um, During puja, I've been, you know, same thing. My brain is just off and wandering the whole time, and I'm pulling it back, and it's just like off and going. So I'm gonna fix my chair, sit my butt down again. Oh my God! Stand up, bend over, do stand up, sit down, fight, fight, fight. Okay. Lord. Okay, here's what I need. We're going to use the bell to bring us in. Just letting that sound bring us to presence and clarity, and asking my allies and ancestors, guides and guardians to come be with me. I need your help tonight. I need your help every day of my life. I'm particularly asking for it for now on behalf of my listeners, and I offer you fresh water. We've offered you sage, and I offer you the fire of Azrael, and I offer you salt water. And Bo is just singing in my head, particularly one called All Eyes on Me. Eddie Vedder's ears should be burning off out of his head from it. All right. And this little card that comes with the Mystical Fairies deck says, Fairies clever, fairies bright, from garden, wood, and pond. Guide my thoughts, guide my sight. Please help me find the answers on a path that's true and right. The rhythm of that drives me crazy because the meter is messed up and it drives me nuts. Anyway, let's see who else is here. Oh, right on. I know, me too. Me too. Hi, Rose. Yay. Hello. Well, I am going to accept this libation on the behalf of the fairies. Just a tiny sip. Now, let's move these out the way and let's ask the dice. Just a message for all of us tonight. Well, we've got Saturn and Sagittarius in the 8th house. All right. Saturn talks about limitations. It can be repression, oppression, limitation, duty, responsibility, authority. You know, what comes with duty and responsibility but authority? When you are handed responsibilities and you do your duty and you do it well and you stay within the structure, then you achieve, right? And when you achieve, you acquire authority. So Saturn is coming to us tonight to talk to us about our responsibilities, to ask us about what our duties are, and are we attending to those duties? I had the Wicca Oracle call me out last night because I had not been doing my puja every day. I had fallen off, and yesterday afternoon I hit a time in the afternoon where I was just like you know, full anxiety attack. I could not focus on anything. I was just scattered, and I just went to do my puja. It's like, this is the only thing I can do right now because nothing else could I focus on. So it's been pretty nutty. So Saturn in Sagittarius talks about taking responsibilities as far as our belief systems go and our spirituality and what our philosophies are. Eighth house is Scorpio's house, so this is talking about the mystical and the magical now. So Sagittarius talks about philosophical systems, you know, mindsets and patterns of thought, but more than just Mercury. This is what we do with our thoughts and the systems that we build from our thoughts and our philosophies. So we're talking about, you know, paradigms and spiritual systems that we operate within, and what attracts us and what doesn't, and you know, different cultures and their systems. You know, so each culture has like their own belief system and their creation stories and their stories about how the world works. So that's what Sagittarius rules. And then we look at the 8th house, which talks about the realm of the occult and magic. So Saturn says we have to be responsible, and what I'm seeing here is being responsible for the congruency of our belief systems. If we subscribe to a religion or, you know, a specific spiritual system, do we take responsibility within that system? Do we practice? Do we really ground ourselves in the structure of that system? And if we also do magical practice? Does it mesh and jibe with our belief system? You know, do things work together? And most importantly, do they work for you? So Saturn is calling us to take responsibility for those systems and asking us, the Sagittarius in the 8th house is asking us, what does your religion look like? Do you claim a religion? Do you claim to have any religion at all, or are you anti-religion? So it's all of these questions. But do the things that you say you believe in and the practices that you do work together? And I guess one of the more fundamental questions is, do you have a practice? Do you practice your belief system in any way, shape, or form? Do you do ritual? Do you talk to the gods? Do you have, I don't know, just what do you have? What's your belief system? What's your responsibility within it? Does it work for you? How structured is it in your life? Is it a structured part of your life? That's the message. Saturn calls for us to structure our belief systems in such a way that they help us move through our life, and they help us move energies, and they help us transform when we need to. They support us. Remember, 8th house is how you get your needs met. And most of the time we think of how other people support us, but it really is your support system. So, do your spiritual beliefs, are they part of your living structure? If they're not, why not? Do you practice them in a structured way? And do they aid you in such a way that they can help you transform your life when transformation is needed? No, I'm going to leave you right there by the crystal. Okay? So that's where we're at tonight, folks. A little heavy, but it's just saying, really, are you taking responsibility for these things, right? Okay. So our Cancers, yes, you are up first. Marcy and Becca. All right. The Cancers. Whoop, here we go. Woo, I've got jumpers all over the place. All right, I'm going to take the 2 actual jumpers. Ooh, we've got King of Pentacles on his head. I'm going to take one more. All right. 2 of Wands, it talks about that structuring and that plan. Do you have a plan? What have you done to take your creative inspiration and move it forward the next step, Cancer? It's talking about the plan that you have in place in order to realize your goals and your inspiration. King of Pentacles upside down says money matters are important this week, Cancer, that you need to get your shit together. The sense that I'm getting is that money can feel like a runaway train right now. And King of Pentacles reversed is saying get your ass into the engine room, right? Get your hands on the wheel. Trains don't have wheels, but you know. Kind of a slipped metaphor there. At any rate, King of Pentacles talks about mastery in the material. So being able to manifest things, being able to take the plan and bring it into manifestation, but it's saying that you're not mastering the material right now. That this week is when you have to look at your mastery of the material. Are you being the boss of your material resources, or are they the boss of you? And how do we turn this around? And Strength talks about endurance, that you've got to certain things, if you can't specifically, she just fell off, certain things you might not have direct control of, but she is saying that you take command of it with gentleness and love. That loving yourself is the number one factor in making decisions about your money, in making sure that you're mastering those resources. You come at it from a standpoint of love and caring and, how do I help this person do better, right? And then we have fairies of the future here. So it is talking about planning more long term for you as well this week, Cancer. Hold on. And I have to go take some Tylenol right now. Hold on, you guys. We've had lots of rain and storms coming through the last few days, thank the gods, but it is driving my head and my sinuses insane. And I sit here and start getting that, immediate headache. Okay. So, Fairies of the Future just says it's time to take this plan into the future and look at what you want to do with your resources. What is your ultimate goal? Do you have one? Do you have a goal for, this next year financially? And is it, if, it could be it's just recovery from the last year. And that's a good enough goal. But it's saying here that we need to look into the future a little bit more and work on that clarity of what's my plan here? What am I after? What do I want to attain? Where do I want to be in a year as far as my financial resources? Okay. And then take command of it. Even to the point, and I want to say this, we can think that if we don't have an awful lot of money, that, investment is only for people that have oodles and piles of extra money. But that's not necessarily true. And if you need advice on finances, go to somebody that handles money for people, even if you're not rich. I think a lot of wealthy people sort of grow up and are taught in their families, here's what you do with money, here's how you handle it. I was never taught any of that, So it doesn't hurt to go and start asking questions about how can I take care of myself down the line, and finding out what's possible. But anyway, Cancer, that's where we're at, is you've got to take responsibility for the plan, be a little bit more assertive and masterful in handling your finances, gently, though. And Strength card comes up and says that it could just be a matter of endurance, that there's a period of time here that you just need to get through. And if that's this week, I mean, we're only talking about the space of a week here, but it's saying to use this time dealing with those issues and really looking forward a little bit more to the future and seeing what the plan is down the road. Okay? Right. My Leos. Mio Leo. Here we go. You came aside. You came face up. All right. All right. These two. Look at the fairies in these cards. I don't know how much you can see them. Hold on. There's Four of Cups and Seven of Swords here. The Four of Cups, of course, talks about, and in this one we have two people. So we're talking about, Leo, I mean, this is exactly where I'm at, just feeling internal, feeling that dissatisfaction, that discombobulation. And then we have Seven of Swords, which is the Thief card. I'm wondering if, we're just really looking at the emotional climate, Leo, and how much it's kind of taking from you. Eight of Pentacles says it's time to get into the physical. All right. So I feel, Leo, this week for, wherever... I don't think you saw that. That one levitated straight off the top. Okay, and I put it upside down, so that's the way we're going to read it. I'm thinking, Leo, this week it's going to be more helpful to get your hands on tools. That if this isn't working, get these to work. All right? If this isn't working and your emotions are all over the place, which they certainly have been, the fairies are saying get your hands in the dirt, get your hands on some tools. It's funny, last night when I went to bed, I was feeling that same way, just kind of, you know, and I thought, I need to crochet. I need to learn the next step in crocheting, and then I didn't do it. But I think that that's what I'm going to do now. I have been painting a little bit, working on the porta-pagans that I'm making. But yeah, something here, Seven of Swords is saying something is robbing you, Leo, that there's something where it's a loss. You know, I'm thinking the efforts that we're making this week might take more from us than they're actually doing when we approach it from the emotional, when we're looking at dealing with the emotional stuff and trying to figure out why we're so weird feeling, that is a thief of time. So, you know, again, back to the material, like cleaning your house. That is certainly something valid. Let's look at the Pook upside down. All right. So the Pook is one of the fairy challengers. And I'm looking them up because it's reversed. So shape changer, of course, good and bad, bad and good, paradox, and resolution. Well, certainly that's what I'm feeling this week, is just things are shifty. There's a paradox that we are unable to resolve at this time. Recognizing the paradox helps us move closer to a solution for it, but the information or experience we need to resolve it is not yet available to us. The trick here is to avoid becoming bogged down by this. Too late! We need to get on with other aspects of our lives while acknowledging the difficulty here. This is exactly what it's talking about, you guys. If possible, we need to postpone related decisions and then relax about it, not knowing that knowing that the insight we need will come, but we cannot rush it. In fact, trying to rush it usually only causes us to become more deeply mired in the confusion. Relax, wait, and stay alert. All right. It said exactly what we said. Get on with other things. Get on with things that you don't need to make decisions about. Get on with things that you don't need to really resolve. Because the Pook reversed is saying that there's a paradox, that things are shifty this week, that you're not going to find resolution this week, Leo. So what you do is something to do while we're waiting, that you clean your house, you make something, you paint something, you dust something. You know, it's getting into the material. All right. You know what? I want to look up Seven of Swords. I don't know how this book is organized. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Oh, those are quartz. Wait. Okay. Barbara Moore wrote this. Your message. Even wise people make mistakes. There's much danger in acting in haste. Be careful of the allure of doing something, anything to change a situation. This is the same thing it's saying here. Your actions may indeed end the problem, but create an entirely different and perhaps worse problem. There's the paradox. No matter how dire the situation, take the time to think before you act. All right, something was telling me I needed to look that up. So, same message over and over again. Get your hands on the material. Get your feet on the ground. Get your attention into your body. Table everything else this week. You know, take care of course, the things that must be taken care of. You want to be responsible. But things are going to be so shifty that if you try to push the river and make a decision now this week, you're going to end up creating a worse problem. So, get your fucking hands up. Okay, sorry, I'm going to be singing Bo. God, you guys, I really hope you have Netflix, and I hope you go to watch it, because it's so good. Stop carrying everyone else's loads around, that's for sure. That's for sure. because your own load is enough. Believe me, it is enough. All right. The thing that's really been interesting this week, and I mean more than this week, is when, as you get older, when you get into cronehood, the distance between who you are now and who you were, in your teens before you hit adulthood can get pretty huge. And at the same time, there's no distance at all because it's still you in there, right? And it can be so interesting looking back and unsettling looking back because you're connecting with that person that you were then. And in my case, there's a lot of damage. And it's been tough. It's been tough looking back. And I'm having to look back, with a lot of compassion for the fucked up kid that I was, Okay, Virgo. Oop, that one wanted to come off, so let's go. All right. We've got the Eight of Wands, the Knave of Cups. I think the knaves are the... Hold on. I think the knaves... Yes, the knaves are the pages here. So things are moving quickly for you, Virgo. And we're heading towards a new beginning here. We're heading towards things opening up for you, Virgo, and opening up for you emotionally as well. We've got the Knave of Cups here. So we have Eight of Wands, Knave of Cups, and the Fool. So I'm really seeing you opening up, Virgo, quickly. Things are moving. You are feeling like there is a fresh start, like there is something to get excited about, something to look forward to, that feeling, that emotional spark. The Knave of Cups, of course, also calls you to attention with your emotions, to take care of your emotions and into sort of looking into what's going on there. But this card here just really looks like that young person that's feeling like school's out and things are really fun. Okay. They want me to cut these. And Fairies of the Future came out again. So Virgo, moving quickly. Your position this week in looking towards the future is like on the threshold of something brand new, on the threshold of possibilities, like really opening up. So for you, Virgo, it's about brand new things. It's almost like you can turn a new page and look forward and say, what's the new project? What is the new thing that I'm going to get started? And with Fairies of the Future, it's start from the end. What is it that I want to manifest eventually a year from now? Let's look at that year plan with the Fairies of the Future. What is it that I want to manifest? And then come back to where you are now and say, and here's how it starts. Here's how that manifesting starts, right? But you make sure that you have that end result very clearly in your mind. Let's see what else we got here. Let's look up a couple. Why not? Get your fucking hands up. Get on out of your seat. All eyes on me. All eyes on me. Okay. Message of this card is very simple. Events are moving very quickly. You're compelled to act almost without thinking. You must go along with your gut feeling and trust that that is the right choice. Okay. The Knave of Cups validates the gut feeling. So, connected to your emotions and knowing that possibilities are opening up, you can trust your guts and take a leap forward this week. Take a leap forward. But again, I really want you to have that you're not leaping into the void or into a blank place. I want you to have something, a goal. You know, we need to define what we're leaping to. All right? I think that's a good way to go. All right, Vierge. Ah, interesting. Okay, catching up with yes, yes. Yes, Samantha, you're absolutely right. Those I'm reclaiming those pieces. Um, and I think why I'm feeling so stuck. Hey, welcome to Luna's therapy session. I think one of the reasons I'm feeling so stuck is that those pieces are still very they're not quite accessible to me. I feel them there, you know, they're working their way up. Um, but they aren't I haven't quite hooked in to the emotion yet. You know, there's a whole bunch to come, but I haven't quite hooked into that. It's not ripe yet, you know. So I just have to wait. I have to wait. All right. Oops. Libra. And we got very neatly our 3 cards. Knave of Wands, the Devil, and the 6 of Cups. Okay. Well, the Knave of Wands just talks about, again, your inspiration, your creativity. He's got kind of a pensive look on his face, though, so I'm going back here. I haven't looked at this deck in, like, years. Or at least since I unboxed it within the last year. Okay. Okay, someone who has been preparing to try something new. He's studied and observed. He thinks he's ready, but it's important for him to get it right on the first try, so he's imagining exactly. Okay, so this just shows concentration and consideration. So there's something that you're getting ready to start, Libra, and you've been considering very carefully. And then 6 of Cups over here is the past memories. The Devil talks about being attached to those past memories. That, oop, looky. Okay. So 6 of Cups says we could be a little ensnared in past memories here. And maybe that's what's being considered here. I mean, what was I just talking about? So here's for you, Libra, looking at the past circumstances, memories that are coming up that you're just feeling attached to. And not in a good way. The Devil talks about things that have more control of you than you have of them. So maybe it's time, Libra, to adjust some of your memories. Remember that the past is fluid. You know, we know that the future is fluid, but the past is as well. And what changes the past is how you choose to regard it. The Devil and the 6 of Cups here is saying it's time to reprocess some of your memories and to reframe them so that you can be free of them. And not necessarily just free of them, because they're, you know, the past is the past, it's always part of your past, but so that you can get the juice from them and it can be a mobile thing. Okay, wait, let me get my shit together here. Let me get my thoughts together. There's energy that needs to be reclaimed from memories. Regret, that's what I was waiting for. Regret is the thing that needs to be reframed. All right, we've got some regret here, and it's leading us around by the nose. So Libra, this week, look back at some past things and see, what am I feeling regret about? What am I feeling resentment about? You know, regret is usually about your own actions, resentment is somebody else. But it's all about the past and freeing up the energy that is keeping you bound. Resentment and regret can keep you bound in negativity and keep you bound to the past and imprisoned by the past, truthfully. So that's what we're looking at this week, Libra. Let's see. Boy, fairies came to party this week, didn't they? We're not dealing with fluffy fairy shit. I thought, I was feeling kind of crappy, so I thought, well, I'll go for the fairies. We'll have a fluffy night. This isn't a fluffy night. And I know better. I know the fairies are very serious. Okay. So topsy-turvets are the ones that came up here. And these are the ones that are on the back of the card. So you see these guys here, and then we've got these kind of upside downy, or the regular faces, but then we turn it upside down and we still have faces right side up, right? So the topsy-turvets can talk about looking at things from different perspectives, that shifty paradox kind of thing, change of viewpoint, fresh looks, new ways of seeing. So what were we just talking about? Reframing the past. What's the new way that you want to look at it? And I shut the book, but I did want to read. I love that you guys just hang out with all my scatteredness. Okay. The turvet suggests things need to be looked at from another angle. We need to back off from our emotional entanglement, that's the devil, and look anew. Much of the apparent confusion about the issue is caused by a faulty point of view. Get the opinions of honest others and then relook at your own. That's the big key, is relooking at your own. Defensiveness and denial may be causing much difficulty. Try imagining that you're looking at the situation from the point of view of each of the others involved. This is excellent reframe stuff. This is not an exercise in deciding how the other ought to see things, but in discovering how they really do. Words like he ought to see that are not useful at this time. Ought is another way of saying should. Should is not a healthy thing. If the turvet's card turns up and another point of view does not readily suggest itself, it may be useful to draw another card for future information. Well, we're not going to do that. So yeah, reframe is what this is all about, Libra. And maybe looking at things from another well, Libra, come on. What do? What's your superpower? Seeing things from another person's view because you want them to be happy too. And you're very concerned about how the other sees it. So this time you're looking at things from the other's view, but I think more importantly, Libra, is allowing yourself to view things differently. Because you naturally really go for what is the other person experiencing. I think you need to turn that around and really focus on your own and see how you can shift your paradigm, look at things from another view, turn regret into usable energy. All right. Okay. Pay attention what parts of your body. That's right. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. All right. Now, Scorpio. Scorpio, my darlings. Hey, lurkers, check in. Say hi. I like to know who you are. Okay. Fairies are very cooperative tonight, you guys. And we got 4, so I'm going to take 4. All right, Scorpio. 3 of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, 7 of Swords. All right, and then 10 of Wands. All right, well, 10 of Wands right off the bat, Scorpio, is saying it's time to weed some things out here. You're carrying too much. All right. 3 of Pentacles is seeing a plan through, bringing something into manifestation. The Queen of Cups talks about your intuition and banking on that. And you know what? I'm just going to relax, you guys, because I'm going to be looking up a lot of things tonight. Why not? All right, putting skills to use is the 3 of Pentacles. I'm going for the Seven of Swords again. I want to see. It didn't stick. Okay. So this was Seven of Swords was talking about not acting in haste. So we want to be thoroughly grounded in intuition, Scorpio, in what your feelings are telling you. You have a lot of skills, and you're carrying too much of a load. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Debbie. Yay, good to see you both. All right. So Scorpio, 10 of Wands says that the burden you're carrying is getting oppressive. It's too much for you. Something needs to be dumped. And coming under the Queen of Cups here, it looks like the dump needs to be an emotional one. Time to process some emotions, not offload. I'm backing out again a little bit here. So we want to process what's there to be processed. You have the skills to handle it. But we don't want to do things in haste, like just blowing your emotions all over somebody, okay? Offloading your emotional energy. That I'm carrying this emotional burden, it needs to be processed, and instead of like taking responsibility and processing it, you just sort of go off like volcanic you and just like dump your emotions on somebody else. So we don't want to do that, but we certainly need to get rid of something. So let's see what the other fairies have to tell us here. All right. We have Indy. Oof. Okay, Indy talks about indecision, Scorpio, not usually something you grapple with. Scorpios are usually pretty fucking decisive about things. And the bodacious Boda. So, okay, so it is talking about not just like splattering. All right, Scorpio. I think we really just need to process some emotional stuff, baggage that you're carrying, and I'm going to focus in on the 10 of Wands here, which just says that you're carrying a burden. So I want to validate that and acknowledge that for you, Scorpio, first of all, that you're carrying a burden. And I'm kind of funneling through this through myself because, you know, Scorpio rising here. So yes, carrying a burden. It is emotional. You are aware. You are aware of what the emotions are and where they live and what needs to happen here. But you need to take care of them yourself. That's what I'm getting. You need to take care of them yourself. You need to bring your magical skills to bear. Maybe do some spell work that's going to catalyze those emotions so that they can then manifest and be processed. Because we really want to stay away from jumping, from doing things hastily and jumping to offload this. But Indy is a bit of a worry. Hold on, let me look at 10 of Wands here. Okay, responsibilities overwhelm you. You're carrying a very heavy burden. Life feels miserable. There'll be times in your life when this is true. In those cases, you must find hope and strength where you can, such as turning to other people for help or inspiration. However, you should make sure that you aren't carrying a burden needlessly. When you are feeling overwhelmed, examine your load. Do you really need to be responsible for it all? Is there perhaps a better way to handle the load? Some way to make your path easier? So, you know, with the opening message and Saturn, knowing that Scorpio tends to do things in extremes, you know, it's either on or off. There's no halfway. It is saying that you take on a load that really isn't yours. So the emotional load that you're carrying, Scorpio, look at what's yours, what's not, be responsible for what's yours, and then hand off what's not. And I want to look at Indy too. All right. It's decision time, time to make up your mind, make a decision, stick to your commitments, set a definite time period to complete your decision right down to the day and hour. Give yourself time to put the decision into practice before it's too late. Once that arbitrary but carefully judged decision time is set, ask for guidance from your highest good, then weigh, consider, ponder, and gather information. If we do this, and if we've asked for aid, the answer seems to somehow fall magically into place at the appointed time. Then it's just a matter of trusting that answer and carrying it through. We can ask for help with that as well. If we wish, it is willingly given. All right. Hold on. Get your fucking hands up. Meddling, tampering, stab. Okay, helpful fixing. So Bodacious Boda talks about meddling in other people's shit. There's the burden. There's the burden. You're meddling in other people's shit. Time to give it up. Indy says make a decision here that you don't need to fix other people's problems. So your codependency comes up this week, Scorpio. It says it's not your problem to fix other people's problems. Back off and take care of your own emotional stuff this week. Okay. All right, where's my Saggies? Get on out of your seat, toss. Get your fucking hands up. All right, Sag. Ooh, we got the Six of Cups again here. Four of Pentacles, King of Wands, and Six of Cups. All right. So Sagittarius, time to take stock of what you have gathered in, okay? What you store, what you collect, what you hoard, what you keep. Time to look at all that stuff and ask, do I really need this? King of Wands. All right, hold on. All right, they both wanted to come. We have the Singer of Courage and He of the Fiery Sword. So He of the Fiery Sword corresponds to King of Wands. It's time to kick something off in a big way. Taking responsibility for a creative project, using the resources you have this week, Sagittarius. There's been like a stockpiling going on. But this week it's time to make a decision about what we're doing with these resources. What am I going to do with them? What are they going to do for me? How do they work for me? Because just having and holding is not enough. There are certain things like, stores of food that you can have and hold, and those pay you off down the line. But if you've got like, I don't know, craft stuff, if you sew and you've got shit tons of fabric that you're not doing anything with, it's time to look at what you have and decide, do I need to hold this or what can I do with it? Because King of Wands is about passion and creativity and being the boss of those things. And saying it's time to be the boss of a project and kick something off in a creative way. I've got all these resources to use. Six of Cups, again, is looking to the past and memories. So doing something that has given you pleasure in the past. Doing something that you have a gift at that you haven't done in a long, long time, even from when you were a kid, So the things that you've been piling up, it's time to use them. It's time to transform them into something else, whether that's something that is useful for you or something you're going to sell or whatever. It's just time to start moving the stores of things and transforming them into what you want to create. That's what He of the Fiery Sword is saying. It's time to take up that sword and do something. Your creativity is like welling up. And Sagittarius, how about He of the fiery arrow instead? Let's make it the fiery arrow. So think about defining your project this week, Sagittarius. What is it I want to create? What do I want to manifest? And your month, December, is showing itself to me right now on the calendar. So I want you to look towards December and what it is that you want to manifest by then. I mean, this could be things that you want to make for people for Christmas. Oh my God. Oh my God, you guys, it's golden hour and in the woods. I mean, it's cutting there's like that solid wall of green leaves out my window, but the sun, the setting sun is getting through and there's like ruby lights in the woods on the tree trunks. It's amazing. And we lost a huge chunk of tree last night too, out of the woods. Anyway, so Sagittarius, think about towards December. What is it that you want to manifest by then? And I mean, it can be anything. Like I said, making Christmas presents too. This is a new career that I'm kicking off. All right. The Singer of Courage is there as well. It says, take up that sword and do it. So this is the week you come out swinging, Sag. All right. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing messages. What was the point there, Sam? All right. Now, Capricorn. Get your fucking hands up. The song I keep singing, he sings it like he's, on the stage at an arena concert and, telling everybody put your hands up and everything. But he's, the voice that is in that piece is the voice of somebody that has terrible panic attacks on stage. Oh, yikes, hold up. I just dropped half the deck on the ground. And as I went down there to pick those up, I found a fairy card on the ground face up. So there we go. Hold on, you guys. What a mess. All right. These. All right, so we got King of Wands and Knave of Pentacles. And the Seven of Swords again. I'm taking those because we've got lots of court cards here. All right, Capricorn. Knave of Pentacles, taking delight in the physical, enjoying, good food, that kind of stuff this week. And King of Wands comes out for you too, and Seven of Swords. So for you too, Capricorn, it's talking about taking responsibility, really taking action, taking authority in a project, getting something started. He also, in my other decks, King of Wands can talk about professional people. The fairies wanted a sip. Okay. Seven of Swords is talking about not acting in haste. And then down here, we have the Ten of Wands and the Priestess. So for you too, Capricorn, I feel like I say this every week. You got too much to do. Take some of it off. All right? Ten of Wands is you got too much to do. The Priestess. Hold on. This could be the worst night of my life. I took a little sip of that brandy and it made my throat itch. No. Okay. So the Priestess is saying, get quiet this week, Capricorn. Get really quiet and look for that truth inside. There's a thread that goes from the outside manifest, the everyday, into the deep, deep, deep well of knowing. And you need to follow that thread down and follow it back out again to see what you're manifesting as you take control of this project. And what I'm getting here is that Capricorn motion, slow, step by step. Taking control is making the plan step by step. How am I getting through it? Not fixing things that don't need fixed. Don't act until you're absolutely clear on what you're doing, Capricorn. This is not the week for busy work for you. This is the week for absolute plan. This is the week for I'm not doing it unless I absolutely know why I'm doing it and there's a total point to it. So this is how you kind of weed through the too much that you have on your plate. Is if it's just, oh, I just need to do, just whatever, set it aside for now. You really need to concentrate on the things that that have a real purpose, a purpose in the bigger plan for you. All right. So this week it's time to concentrate on the big things, and the big things that really resonate with you beyond the surface, that resonate with you deep inside. So the projects that have a spiritual layer to them as well. So this week, Capricorn, it is not about just mundanery, and the job. It's about the projects that also you are spiritually invested in, that you are emotionally connected to. All right. And then we've got the singer here of unity. And unity is the number one card. Everything has to act together. Everything needs to be congruent. So when you go to this High Priestess card, Capricorn, get yourself connected physically into your body, connected to that very, that point of light right at your heart chakra. That little point of light. Focus on that. Go deep, deep, deep. Ask for help once you get there. Guide me. Guide my actions this week. And then anchored in that, you come out into the outer world and see, here's what's on my plate this week. These are the things that are resonating with my spirit. Those are the things that I'm concentrating on. All right. The other stuff, there might be other busy work that you have to do. You can handle those things easily and quickly. But again, the Ten of Wands is saying there's just too much in general. So I think this week you can narrow your focus to the things that really feed your soul, to the projects that you need to be responsible for. And one of those main projects is taking care of your spirit, taking care of yourself spiritually. So going back to our original message there about taking responsibility for our belief systems and for the practices that we do we really practice them? Do we practice our beliefs like we actually believe them? Or like they're optional? All right. So yeah, that's what I'm getting for you. Sorry, fucking around with my thing there. As you can see. So unity just says it's time to come into yourself this week, Capricorn, and stay grounded in your beliefs, in your reality, in your in your sacred connections, your source, connecting to your source, and making sure that everything you do this week stems from that source. Everything is rooted in that source. All right. Capricorn to-do list item 1, the most. Okay, yeah, not this week. Not this week, baby. All right. Aquarius. It's so weird doing these group readings because I feel like you guys, it really doesn't, you don't see what I really do when I'm doing these readings. Sorry, I'm looking because it looked like something was flipped backwards and I'm trying to find that. And this is the challenge of doing these readings. That was Knight of Wands. This is the challenge of doing these readings because I don't have somebody that I am keying into, So it can be hard to catch the thread sometimes. Okay. I had a feeling that was going to be the last shuffle. All right, Aquarius. 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, and 7 of Cups. Wow, Aquarius. Okay. The good life is the phrase that I'm getting here. Aquarius, with the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. That's the stable family card and the happy family card. It's saying that resources are plentiful this week, as is satisfaction and happiness. So enjoy those things. We've got a holiday weekend. I mean, it's probably my least favorite holiday. Typically, my kids and I, one of the things that we always like to do on 4th of July is ride through town with our windows open, blasting First Nations music. There's a group called, oh shit. Hold on. I gotta find out. It's a Native American group. They're a drum. It's got red in it somewhere. But it's like this, chung, 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 ah! It's just amazing. And it's modern, it's incredible, it's very loud. And we haven't done it with this car yet. And this car has the best stereo we've ever had in a car ever. So I'm thinking that my kids and I are going to have to drive through downtown blasting. Yeah. All right. God, I'm going to have to find that band. Darcy knows who they are, but she's not here tonight. Oh, okay. Aquarius. Sorry. Back to Aquarius. So, holiday weekend coming up. Enjoy yourself, Aquarius. You can use your resources. You might have resources to buy the things that you want, to enjoy the food that you want, to hang out with the people that you love. But then we have 7 of Cups here. And what I'm getting here is a vibe of kind of having to look for something to be dissatisfied about. So with the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups, it's saying, Aquarius, shut the fuck up. Enjoy what's in front of you. You don't have to question it. Just for this week, Aquarius, can you enjoy fully the resources, the abundance that's around you, the love that's around you, without questioning it, without judging it, without criticizing it, without saying, yeah, but it's not this, 7 of Cups talks about, and I'm getting the word comparison like shouted in my head. Usually it's about, imagining a lot of different things, or there's a lot of different choices. But in this sense, it's like comparing, well, this is great. Yeah, compared to what? So back off the judgment, Aquarius. Step into the mindset this week of just fully enjoying whatever and whoever is around you. And She of the Crua comes up here. And this is the archetypal female energy. This is receiving energy. This is the balance of He of the Fiery Sword is outgoing. She of the Crua is ingathering. So Aquarius, this week, open up yourself to the beautiful abundance, to the wonderful love and friendship that's around you. Let your dissatisfaction fade into the background and just open yourself to receive this week, to receive deliciousness and happiness and comfort and fun. That's it for you, Aquarius. Lucky you. All you have to do is get past your judgments. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. A Tribe Called Red. Thank you, Becca. Oh my God. Thank you, Becca. Yes, A Tribe Called Red. And let me tell you what the song is. I wonder if YouTube would let me get away with playing like a tiny piece of a song. Hold on. Sorry, you guys. Commercial break. How did I get past all these? Wait. Jesus criminy. How do I have so many frickin' things? I'm looking in my iTunes right now. And I have many things in my iTunes. Okay, Tribe Called Red. It's called, I think it's called Electric Powwow Drum. Let's see if I get away with this. 8 seconds. Okay, let's go forward. All right. That's all I'm going to do so I don't get called out. I still might get called out by Facebook or by, you know. All right, back to ocean waves. Back to the ocean. Oh, wait. What? Did you guys even hear that? You should have. There we go. There's our ocean waves again. Anyhow, distractions aside, Pisces is up next. They did. What did they change it to? Wow. Oop. All right. So they want us to take it out of this group. This card is standing out. 6 of frickin' cups again. All right. So Pisces, 6 of Cups is up for the third or fourth time tonight. Wow. Okay, I'm glad you heard it. So, Judgment comes up in the middle here, and then we've got 10 of Swords. 6 of Cups, Judgment, 10 of Swords. Okay, hold on. All right, Pisces. This is ringing my bell too, because my Pisces moon here. Pisces, you are particularly vulnerable to getting sucked into the past this week. And 10 of Swords says getting pulled into like the worst memories of the worst. Judgment in the middle says let these things at least present themselves in order to be transformed. Don't just get lost in them, Pisces. All right. So Judgment is one of the cards of change in the major arcana. As you know, the hallucination. Okay. Sorry. Hold on. Okay. That's interesting because I have them, I subscribe to them, and I have seen hallucination come across in my subscriptions, and I was thinking, I don't recognize that. I don't remember. Okay, good to know. Thank you. Thank you, Becca. All right, onward with Pisces. So Judgment is one of the cards of change in the major arcana. Many cards of change. The Chariot is a card of change. The Wheel of Fortune is a card of change. Death is a card of change. Tower is a card of change, right? Many cards of change. Judgment is change from the inside. Judgment means change me, all right? It means when I change this, everything changes. So nothing externally changes, but I change my mind about it. And so I am seeing it completely differently. That's where you're at this week, Pisces. It's time to reframe these memories that are taking you down. All right? There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of trauma. But it's past trauma. It doesn't have to be present trauma. If you change your perspective and decide how you want to look at these things, and if you make yourself receptive to processing the traumatic energy, then you open the way for that energy to be transformed. And I just got a wad that fell out of the Faeries deck. The water Waters and the Singer of Connection. So I just took them all here. Soul Shrinker is that getting lost in those old memories that just suck you dry. So we're not doing that. Then we have Tobira of the Waters, that is talking about really being connected emotionally, being able to go into that emotional realm. I'm looking up Sylvanius here. One of the fairy guides and guardians, fairies of the future. Okay. He is truth and cutting through deception. So you see the mask that he's holding here and these swords that are being held. It's like removing the mask. So it's time to remove the mask from these memories. Remove the judgment of yourself that you hold in these memories. All right? And then where we go to is connection. The Singer of Connection is then we can reconnect to that part of ourself that has been sort of banished because of trauma and because of our own judgment of ourselves. You know, we banish parts of ourselves. This is what Samantha was talking about early on here, is reclaiming those bits that have been traumatized. As the emotional energy ripens and comes up so you can process it, when you do it consciously and say, this is what I'm grieving, this is what I'm processing, along with what you're processing comes what you reclaim. The part of your soul that you reclaim, soul retrieval, soul reintegration. And, okay, Tobira, emotions, serenity, meditation, gracefully accepting change. So Tobira just really is about communing with that part of yourself, communing with the wounded part, and accepting, you know, say, come back, pulling them back. The Singer of Connection says, I reconnect these disconnected parts of myself. I reconnect the disconnected parts that are distanced because of my judgment, because of my self-judgment. Because, yeah, nobody can hurt you worse than you can. And that goes for all of us. You know, we are our own worst enemies. We are our own worst abusers. When we, and I don't want to use the word choose. You know, I was going to say when we choose not to process trauma, but trauma gets processed when it's time for it to process. We don't always have a choice about when we're ready for something to transform, right? So, okay, fiery sword is coming out again here. So, you know, we process what's ready for processing, and Tobira of the Waters says that we can be very aware of what's ready when it comes up so that we can process. Yeah, there is a lot of wounded healer energy. Absolutely. Absolutely there is. Why? Because we're needed now. We are needed. And so when you do this work, when you're looking at doing your own healing work, and, you know, I want to say this too, we all are healers. That doesn't mean we aren't still wounded. That's why, you know, they say the wounded healer, but we still kind of carry a lot of shame over our own wounds, over still having those wounds. So we need to disabuse ourselves. That's an excellent word right now. We need to relieve ourselves of the shame that we carry around still having wounds. That's part of the human condition. It's not a shame. It doesn't mean we're not a good healer because we still have things that need to be healed. Oops. Okay. Just looking at what else is here because I got a big chunk. Knight of Wands, Justice, Ace of Wands. Okay. So Aries, it's movement time for you. It's getting started time. Justice says it's decision-making time. It's balance time. Look at the upraised sword here. Look at the upraised sword here with he of the fiery sword. So Justice says it's time to get things back in balance this week, Aries. The Knight of Wands says you let your passion lead you. And the Ace of Wands says you get something started. I'm looking at these three now here, because we have Death, the World, and the Nine of Cups. All right, hold on. All right, so the Justice card says that decisions do get made, that there's the upraised swords say something is divided, something gets cut away, something gets trimmed, a decision gets made. And the Death card says what is cut away is gone for good. So Aries, you've got to get rid of something. You've got to make the cut this week one way or another. With an ace here, you know, with Death and an ace, it's like, yes, absolutely time for something to go away for good and forever. Be it a habit, a thing, you know, it needs to go. And the World, okay, and the Nine of Cups says, Aries, this week it is time to turn to that one person. It is time to turn to your partner, to that very good friend, to the person you can trust, because the World card says they can be your everything this week. This is the one that can really help you through. I'm looking at this lovely, lovely image. Look at this with Nine of Cups. So this is the wish card, but look at the comfort in that embrace. Right next to the World, it says there's a lot of comfort available there for you, Aries. So go for it this week. It also says that it could be a saucy week for you. You know, you could have some fun. You could be frisky. Have some fun with your favorite partner is what he of the fiery sword says. But certainly decision time, certainly time for something to go. Something to go. You know what it is. You know what it is. Knight of Wands says you've been kind of grating about it, and it's time to get something started. So it's time for the let me think here. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but you know what it is, and it's time for it to go. Okay, let's see here. You know, Samantha, I tried to read Women Who Run with Wolves. That's Clarissa Pinkola Estes, right? I tried to read it, and I found it dense. I found it very dense. So it didn't let me in the first time, but this was 28 years ago, 26 years ago, something like that. Be choosy about where you send your energy. Yeah. But this is definitely talking about that special person, and it doesn't have to be an intimate relationship like sexually. It's just the person where that comfort resides for you is where you go this week, Aries. Oof, Sagittarius took a ride. All right. I'm feeling nervous. Are you having fun? It's almost over. It's just begun. All right. Taurus. Don't overthink this. Look in my eye. Don't be scared. Don't be shy. Come on in. The water's fine. Okay, yeah, that, I mean, it was just dense. I couldn't get through. All right, there's the next. And we'll take the next off the top. So we have the Magician, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Empress. Oh, Taurus, are those ever your cards? Oh my God. These two, Queen of Pentacles and the Empress, those are like Taurus personified. So this week, Taurus, you're going to feel like you're in your element, that the abundance is all around you. So you too, the call is to, and look, Fairies of the Future out again. All right. To enjoy what is around you, enjoy the fruits of summer, allow yourself to feel the abundance, and see if you can give yourself an experience of it without worry. Abundance without worry. The Magician says, I'm looking at him with the cards flying all over. The magician says the abundance is all around you. Make some magic around it so that it multiplies. So that it multiplies. Food spells this week, Taurus. Um, we are having a hell of a time staying on keto. We just haven't been. We haven't been. Part of the reason is because, when you're depressed. And the other reason is it's summer and there's watermelon and cherries. And, I just refuse to deny myself. I just really refuse to deny myself. So go get those cherries. Samantha and I were talking about the Witches of Eastwick the other day. You don't want to do that, but when you have those cherries, and food spells are so wonderful, and whether it's a food spell, I mean, the basis of food spells is putting your magic in something that you then consume. You consume the magic, it becomes part of you. So these start on the earth level. Food spells are good when you're working on the body, when you have things to work that deal with the body. And money could come in here too, because money is what feeds and clothes the body and gives it shelter, right? So you can do food spells manifesting money. Just make sure that you're centered in this and doing what takes care of this body. So you have your cherries, 3, 5, 7, all those odd numbers are great numbers for spells, and you put your magic in the cherries. Make sure it's something positive. Something positive. Make sure that your visualization is clear, clean, abundant, healthy. And blow it in, let it come down your arms into the cherries. I mean, you want to raise energy, obviously, and really pack it in there. And then mindfully eat the cherries. Mindfully eat them. Keep the seeds. You can just go out and stick the seeds in the ground. I mean, that's how it works around here, right? But if you want to actually sprout the trees, look up on YouTube how to sprout cherry seeds, because it's a process. You have to, that stone is not the seed, that's the cover. You have to snip that stone open and there's a little seed inside it that has to be sprouted in your freezer for several months. So, okay. Yes, I love cherries so much too. They are my absolute favorite fruit. I could eat them until I'm sick. I literally never get my fill. They're just amazing. So yeah, doing something like that this week, Taurus, really getting the magic going around abundance. Queen of Pentacles and Empress are the two abundance cards in the deck. Now the difference between them is since the majors are these energies, archetypal energies, and the minors are more down to earth, everyday things. The magician says your magic is around the everyday abundance, making magic around your actual resources, the amount of money that you get, and then you apply the abundance principle. So the Empress is the abundance principle. It's the mindset. It's the belief that there's enough for everyone and I only have to claim my own. The Queen of Pentacles is the skill. She is green thumb. So Queen of Pentacles says that is naturally you, Taurus. You are the green thumb. Just get your magic going around that. Plant some spells in the earth. And then Empress says, so one of the things that you want to work on is really implanting that abundance mindset, really getting that mindset programmed into the unconscious. And that's what spell work is. It is reprogramming the unconscious mind. So you're going to focus on scenarios, scenes of abundance, scenes of deliciousness, what it feels like to have all the bills paid and money left over, plenty of money left over. All of the things and what they feel like. You generate that, you implant it, okay? Then Fairies of the Future says, yes, okay, this week, Taurus, some decisions about the future as well. Indy says that we're kind of on the fence about something. So this week it's time to weigh things out and look at what decisions are going to be made in the future, what's coming down the pike that you don't quite have to decide yet, but it's coming. All right? So this week it's time to look to the future and then start thinking about these things that are going to have to be decided. And the decision time is in the fall. I'm getting October. All right? So now it's time to say by October, some things are going to be changing. Here's what I'm going to have to decide and start to weigh that out this week. All right? Your warrior empress outfit. Hell yes. Yeah, Gon and I are going to start doing some Ren Fair sewing. And I also have to be very honest with everybody in that I am feeling, you know, I don't know if you heard today that Los Angeles is starting to put the mask mandates back in place because of this Delta variant. So it ain't over, folks. We could be going back. We could be going backwards. I've been looking at our county and seeing the cases, you know, and it's been like zero. We haven't had any new cases. So you think, oh, we're in the clear. The Delta variant is here. It's here and it's on its way. All right. Oof, I got a whole bunch here. We're just doing these. All right. We'll see if those have to come in. All right, Gemini. So yeah, and I'll tell you what's really, this blows my mind. So it's optional now in Ohio whether we want to wear a mask or not. I am still wearing my mask in a store because I enjoy not having a cold. And I'm seeing people wearing masks down here. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? You don't have to wear one at all. You're effectively not wearing one. Why bother? What the hell? I don't understand people. I really don't understand people. One more. There we go. All right. She of the Crua comes out again. So we've had a lot of repeat fairies tonight. Okay, Gemini. Magician in the middle. Time to get your skills together and get to work this week on a magical level. We have Three of Wands, Six of Cups up again. So you too, Gemini, are dealing with past stuff. Three of Wands says something's coming home to roost here. So we could have something manifesting itself that you have worked on, Gemini. Three of Wands talks about ships coming in, a plan coming to fruition with Magician in the middle and Six of Cups there. Okay. I know, Rose. I can't. Yep. Yes, Samantha, I feel the same. I feel like September we're going to be locking down again. But you know what? I'm vaccinated. Are you? Just get vaccinated, folks. All right. We're going to look at all of these. Seven of Wands, Two of Pentacles, and Judgment. Magician and Judgment. So we've got the beginning, like the second card in from both ends. What does that mean? Who knows? All right. Taking a stand, Two of Pentacles. You know, I feel like these are confusing things more. So Gemini, it's just about manifesting your magic. You've had a plan in place for a while. It looks like things are finally coming to fruition. You may need to push it that little last step this week. All right, hold on a second. I'm not getting there. Let's do it this way. Three of Wands and Magician. Okay, so in order for something to come to manifest that you have catalyzed, that you have done your magic around, you're going to have to take a stand on it this week, Gemini. Firm stand. Not the easiest thing for a Gemini. You're usually, yeah, well, you know, we can flex, yeah, whatever. But you're going to have to take a stand in defense of your project, in defense of what you want to see manifest. And then, The Magician and the Six of Cups. Past things. Two of Pentacles talks about the juggling of resources, deciding where you... Okay. So the Six of Cups here talks about those memories. Two of Pentacles here is saying, what do you want to keep and what do you want to throw away? So things that, we're talking in the material here, Gemini, things that have meaning for you materially, things that are memorabilia, or just things that carry memory. There's some decisions to be made this week about what serves you and what doesn't. You may take some of those things and use them in your magical working. And think about that, you guys. When you have things that really, and they don't have to be like your magical tools, but things that mean something to you, that have memory in them, that have that emotional charge to them, are excellent things to use in spell work because they already have the emotional charge. And then we've got Judgment at the end. So this week, Gemini, things pan out because of how you change your mind, because of the magic that you do, the mindset that you generate. And She of the Crua says, yes, things become manifest that you've been working on, this last little push. Make yourself ready to receive because it's coming down the pike here. Ditto, Debbie. I am vaccinated, and yes, I wear my mask in stores and I use my hand sanitizer. Absolutely. Absolutely. So hi, Amy. Hi, honey. I just saw that you showed up. All right. So that's for you, Gemini. And woo, interesting this week. And I'm making friends with this Mystic Fairy deck again. It is a beautiful deck. It really is. All right, let's do one more general. Anybody got any particular questions? Let's do a general and look at what's coming this fall. Why don't we? Since we're talking about it. Hey, yes, give me a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Hit that like button. And if you really, really, really like me, hit that donate button down below. There's two of them. You can donate through my PayPal. You can donate through Streamlabs. You can join my Patreon. A lot of ways to support this priestess plying her trade, and I bless you for every bit of it. Nothing is too small. All right, this is interesting. So Pluto, Libra, second house. Pluto talks about extremity. It talks about things transforming, things getting extreme. Libra is October, September to October. So that's what we're talking about. I feel like mid-September into October is when things are going to start hitting critical mass again. Second house is about resources, material goods, and values. So practicality. I mean, it's Taurus's house, so we're talking about practicality. But it does say that things can get extreme again. Okay, we've got the Six of Swords here. Six of Swords does talk about getting through troubled times and into a better place. So possibly not being as bad as before. King of Pentacles and Strength. Okay. Here, we're going to do it this way. King of Pentacles says we have to be absolutely practical, eminently practical about this. King of Pentacles also says that we now have scientists that we're going to listen to, that the government is going to listen to. So if we go back into a lockdown this fall, it's going to be an entirely different thing from what it was before, because we're now going to have a government that is willing to say, here's what you need to do to stay safe, and we're going to mandate that. That's the King of Pentacles. We've got somebody practical. There's Biden. Strength card on this side says we've been through this before, we'll get through it again, we can endure. Strength is a card of endurance, right? Not force, but endurance. So we can get through this again. All right. Getting through troubled waters and practical guidance results in temperance here, which says this is past lessons assimilated. We've learned so much through the 600,000 people dead. And I mean, did we get to 600,000? I think we did. But, you know, at some point we stopped counting in a really public way. We started counting people being vaccinated instead of people dying. But we could start that counter again. Temperance says that we've got to assimilate the lessons of the past. We have to assimilate and let it change our behavior. Okay, King of Pentacles and Strength. So the King of Pentacles is the practical guidance. Strength is us saying we've been through this before, we can get ourselves through it again, we're going to take good care of ourselves. The result of that is the Ace of Wands saying it's going to be a whole different thing. A whole different thing. It also says that some like actual productive things come out of this. That this time there really is a new beginning, that we really create new things and consciously launch them. It's not just reactive this time. It's about creating a new way of being. This could be, you know, further developments in the workplace as far as businesses are, how businesses are run and stuff like that. But the Ace of Wands says something new gets created from this. So very positive. And then at the bottom we have the Six of Pentacles here. That's more government money. That's more resources from the government. It's money that's not worked for. So grants, loans, looking at how they're not allowing the moratorium on evictions to lapse. And I know that just now the IRS has just sent out like hundreds of thousands more checks to people. There's like been this next wave of money going out. So people that have been waiting, please, I pray, people that have fallen through the cracks start to get the funds that belong to them. And Six of Pentacles says that, yes, this is what happens, but that if come fall, September, October, we end up going into another wave of this, there will be more resources forthcoming. So more response and less reacting. Absolutely. We respond this time because we've got adults in charge. And tomorrow, all right, I want to do another one. Tomorrow, we could very well be seeing charges filed against the Trump Organization. Glory, hallelujah. Skol na zdrowia. Here's looking up your address. May it be so. Let's ask this Mystic Fairy deck, because I am loving this deck. You know, I go back and forth. I want to pick decks that I'm very familiar with, that I read with regularly, so it's easier for me and so that you guys, you know, everybody gets a better reading. At the same time, I really want to, you know, make friends with decks that I don't use very often. So, okay, I was framing a question. Let's see if it's coming out here. Okay. So the question that I didn't really get a chance to frame before they flew out, but I did say, I was talking about the Trump Organization getting charged. Ups and downs, boo! Hey! Hi, Kelly. Welcome, honey. Yay! Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm thinking they were excellent deck choices, too. I'm enjoying them tonight. All right. So this is about the Trump Organization having charges filed. Let's take a look here. Three of Wands, I'm looking at them, looking at the books, literally looking at the books. This is what the courts have been doing, is looking at the books of the Trump Organization. So we have that. The Magician, look at this, look at the cards flying in the air, sleight of hand. So the Magician there, is this the what, Wiesenthal, what's his name? Like the main dude of the Trump Organization? I think that's the Magician here. The sleight of hand guy that's been like misdirecting. No, don't watch this hand, watch the other hand, you know? So there's the Magician. The Seven of Wands here talks about taking a stand. I want to read. My headache has gone away, and I'm thoroughly enjoying myself now. So I'm so glad that there's so many of you willing to hang out with me. A difference of opinion and no sense of compromise is what this says. You want something that your partner does not. Neither of you can see the other's point of view unless one of you backs down. The only resolution is to end the partnership and break your agreement with each other. Sometimes this happens. Make sure what you want is worth the cost. If it is, stand up for yourself no matter how difficult. If not, swallow your pride and give in and find a compromise. He has turned. The magician has turned. The magician has stood up for what he believes in, has taken a stand. Oh, yeah. Alan Weiselberg. Thank you, Rose. Okay. Now, we've got the magician in the books, and here we have the Two of Pentacles. Look at the juggling of resources. Holy shit, you guys. So, yes, the magician has been juggling resources, cooking the books, and they've been looking at the books, and he's said, okay, I will take a stand now. And then what we get from them looking at the books and him taking a stand and flipping is a judgment. Here's the judgment card. Okay. And what we get at the bottom here is the World. We get it all, folks. All right, I think this is looking really, really good. I think the charges are going to like, oh, I feel like the sense is backed into a corner. I know that the Trump kids have been distancing themselves. You know, there's been talk about Trump trying to, you know, protect them. But I think what that looks like is them just backing up and going, no, we don't have anything to do with him. We never even talked to him. I don't even know him. I mean, think about Trump. Think about whenever Trump is backed into a corner, what he does. Oh, I never even met the guy. I don't know him. I never knew him, you know. But if it's the shoes on the other foot and things are going well, yeah, he's my best friend. So this is when you're amongst thieves, you know, they'll turn on anybody, and they turn on their own. And I think within the family there's a split. It could very well be that it's just a split in name only because they're, you know, being self-protective. But holy shit. And then the World card. So this is what I wanted to look up. If you find yourself in the Rose Garden, oh my God. Not at the White House. You may have either recently completed or soon will complete an important task. You're ready to enjoy success and receive the happy congratulations of others. These moments are unfortunately too infrequent and are always the results of some effort on your part, so do not sweep past it in order to hurry to look for your project. If you haven't recently completed something, the desire for this feeling is directing you to find a challenge. Listen to your heart. You're clearly ready to take on something exciting. All right. Let's see. I just really think that the World here is saying that it's the whole ball of wax, that it's the whole organization and everybody in it. You know, the World is the world. And let's see what this one was. This is King of Wands. Is that the prosecutor? And Nine of Pentacles. Okay. Ooh, okay. So right away with Nine of Pentacles, I'm getting, what are we allowed to keep? What are we going to be allowed to keep? Am I allowed to keep my apartment? Am I allowed to keep my penthouse? Am I allowed to keep my whatever? Okay. So, and this is talking about personal finances. Nine of Pentacles is personal finances. King of Wands. Let me look at him real quick. You feeling nervous? You feeling fine? Okay, King of Wands is an energetic, ambitious leader who thrives on social recognition, tends to focus on one project at a time to the exclusion of all else. Dedication to a single project can make his life run a bit unbalanced at times. He may tend to forget or neglect other things, such as family or physical needs. Okay, I think that's Trump. We're talking about personal finances, so I am thinking that there could be charges against him as well. It's the whole ball of wax. All right, so let me catch up with messages here. Okay, yes, the fairies are fabulous. That's why I have my little cup of brandy here. It's my offering to them. Okay. Exact charges will be unsealed tomorrow. Weaselberg will be surrendering. Right on. I hadn't seen that story yet. I'd been looking all day and hadn't seen that story. Yes, the Fae are very active. This the Fae. Indeed they are. All right, you guys. So I think that we can look forward to broad charges, all-encompassing charges, the entire organization. They've been working on this for a hell of a long time. A hell of a long time. And the sense that I'm getting as he's holding rallies in my state, the motherfucker, I get the feeling of the air just slowly leaking out of the balloon, you know? But I also get the feeling that there's so much going on behind the scenes. There is so much activity to make sure he can never run for office again. There's so much activity to weed out those that supported the insurrection in Congress. This week we also got the announcement of an investigation starting, of an independent or a committee being assigned to investigate the insurrection. So, you know, we don't need the Republicans to be on board with any of this shit. We know that they're against it because they were in collusion. You know, they were supportive of it. So we've got that as well. There's so much going behind the scenes. I feel like once charges start happening, it's going to be like dominoes. Boom, 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 boom. You're going to see charges, 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 charges in broad ranging things. On galactic energies. Oh, dear. Okay, yeah. All right, sure. I'm up. I'm up. Okay. There was something else there. Oh, the other thing. Shitty, shitty news today. Bill Cosby out of prison. He's an old, old man. And he needs to still be in prison because he did a lot of damage. Okay, galactic energies, solar energies in particular. Like, I need parameters here. Are we looking at like this month? Are we looking at what's going on with the sun? What are we looking at here? I need it to be a little bit more focused in than just tell me about galactic energies, because gee, that encompasses an awful lot. That encompasses an awful lot. So narrow the question for me, darling, and we will read. In the meantime, while you're narrowing the question, I'm going to ask these fairies about Trump, about him personally. I want to know about Trump personally. I want to know what kind of night he's having. Tell me about Donald Trump. Tell me about Donald Trump. Okay, we've got the fairy godmother. The undressing of a salad. Okay, the undressing of a salad in the middle is impossibility. Some things that are just impossible. And then we had the fairy godmother and the friends. Well, he's just kind of wishing somebody would come in and wave a magic wand and make it all go away. He's so used to this. He's so used to his fixers and people coming in and throwing money at things to make them go away. So where's Donald Trump tonight? He's waiting for the fairy godmother to show up and make this go away. But Rudy's gone. Rudy, you know, who does he have? There's, I can't remember the name of the lawyer. At any rate, he's hoping for a miracle. Undressing of a salad says that's an impossibility. You cannot push that toothpaste back in the tube. You cannot remove the dressing from the salad. But the friends here, he's running out of them. He's looking for friends. He's looking for a miracle, and he's looking for who's the one that's going to come in and save me. Nobody. All right. I hope he has a very sleepless night. All right, so energies outside solar system, this coming fall. Okay. Energies outside our solar system this fall. Okay. Let's take a look at. This is going to be a stretch. This is going to be interesting. I love that they, remove themselves from the deck in neat little groupings for me. Okay, 7 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, 8 of Swords. Let's see. All right, well, we've got the card of harvesting of patience. 7 of Pentacles is patience. So I would say nothing happening immediately. And you specifically asked about fall. So we're looking at, let's look at the time of the autumn equinox. And then 7 of Pentacles says patience. So it's saying that nothing is like hot, popping off. All right. And then 9 of Pentacles. Of course, it talks about abundance. Again, I was talking about personal finance, but in terms of galactic energies, I think, looking at the earth, I think we're looking at an abundant summer, but then we've got 8 of Swords. September, October, November. 8 of Swords pops up in November. Is that a solar flare, something coming in from outside? Truthfully, the biggest danger right now is from the center of our solar system, is from the sun, and sun's going into sunspot maximum. If you are not familiar with the Suspicious Observers channel, he goes a little outside of, where I'm at. I know he has some issues with the mRNA vaccination. That's a whole different issue. I thoroughly trust him as a solar scientist, right? So, all right, so that's a question about Donald. Okay, so we're still back on the solar system here. All right, here we go. So, like I said, go to Suspicious Observers, look at his Earth Disaster Cycle playlist. Please, please, please do. There are big things afoot. And one of those things is the galactic sheet, which is this energy, waves of energy that roll out from the center of the galaxy, carrying a lot of dust with them. Dust which makes this accretion happen around the sun that then gets blown off in a micronova, which would then be enough energy to take down our magnetic field. Since it is so weak, it is continuing to weaken. The poles are both migrating towards the Indian Ocean right now. They're migrating to meet, not at opposite ends. And when that the energy of that micronova hits the Earth, it can be enough to unlock the crust from the mantle and cause it to slip. So yeah, go watch that disaster playlist, please, please, and thank you. All right, let's take a look back here. Knave of Cups. Okay, so a good fall. September, October look good. Then we've got the 8 of Swords and the World here. So between October and November, we've got the World and the King of Wands. King of Wands could be, something heat, something to do with the sun. What I'm being guided to here is the World, that the biggest issue here is our own magnetic field. The weakening of the magnetic field, the migration of the poles, which means that it is much more difficult for our planet to withstand a hit from the sun as we go into sunspot maximum. So there are sunspot groupings right now that have the potential for flaring, and with our magnetic field as weak as it is, this could really cause us some problems, not to mention the satellites out there. Because our field is weak, this energy can get through to take the grid down. So I would say You know, this future planning we were talking about for a whole bunch of the signs here? Future planning needs to be, how will you survive a disaster? What happens if the grid goes down? How do you make your food? How do you feed your family? How do you get your water? How do you survive in your climate if the grid goes down? That's what my concern is. So start thinking about that, folks, and looking at what you would need to have in place to be able to cook your food, to be able to survive if you don't have electricity. Just start right there. Start with the no electricity thing, because that is our most vulnerable area right now. And if you've never spent any time thinking about how do I live in a world without electricity, it is time to start now. It's absolutely time to start now. This is something very helps us do what exactly? It helps us prepare. It helps us prepare. Right, but you know what? It's going to happen whether you're aware of it or not. Do you want to be prepared? And you know, really, if you're completely freaked out about it, maybe the thing you need to prepare for is how you make your exit in a quick and painless way. Right? But to me, I will not ever sacrifice my awareness. I will not ever opt for blissful unawareness and denial. I will not. And I've had dreams about this for decades now of, you know, the storm, the thing that's going to happen. So let's say maybe the grid goes down, but it's not like a complete disaster and we can recover after a number of months. How do you get through those number of months? Folks, how do you do it? You know, people that live in the path of hurricanes know about this. People that live where there's blizzards and, you know, earthquakes and shit know about this. So it's just a responsible human being to understand that life with all this electricity is not a natural thing, and that we are extremely vulnerable in this way. And be aware of that and think, okay, what would I want my life to look like post grid going down? Okay? Because even if you just have a plan to get yourself through for a week and then take yourself out, you know, not that I'm recommending that, but it's just, how do I take care of myself? How do I take care of myself in the best way? And in order to do that, you need to be aware of what's possible. It's kind of like if you went down to live in Florida on the coast and never even thought about what you would do if a hurricane came. That would be incredibly irresponsible, I think, right? If you went to live in California and never gave a thought to wildfires or earthquakes. So this is just about being a responsible person on this planet and taking care of yourself and your family. Okay? If you don't care, your business. Don't care. If you do care, prepare. That's what I want to say. Now, I saw some other questions coming up here. The fairy godmother's going to get clear that the emperor has no clothes. That's, yeah. Okay. If his followers will wake up. I can answer that for you without cards, Deb. They are not. They are not capable of it. So do not put any energy out waiting for stupid people to become smart. They won't. All right? Okay, I'm catching up here. We need to hit the ground running, updating, upgrading, securing our infrastructure. That's why this is the critical thing. And I have to believe that there are people in government that are very aware. You know, NASA folks, come on, everybody's aware of the situation we're in. So getting the infrastructure upgraded and fixed, repaired, updated, they have to be building some things in, like places where computers and big systems will be protected in lead, you know, where things that are important, and it's disaster recovery. My ex-husband did disaster recovery for a bank, for Key Bank. And once a year, they would go to another state and pretend that somebody bombed the headquarters and have to reboot and recreate all of the bank's records from a remote location. So there are people doing this in the government. It's disaster recovery. How do we recover when the grid goes down? This is just practical Practical planning. Okay. Um, right. Right. So, do with it what you will, folks. Do with it what you will. But I am very aware and focused on this. And at the end of his videos on suspicious observers, he says, subscribe because we'll do this all again tomorrow. Right here, but right now, it's blah, 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 whatever time it is, in the new Valley of the Sun. Eyes open, no fear, be safe, everyone. That's it. Eyes open, no fear. Eyes open means be aware of the potential. No fear means, and what am I going to do about it? You know, I'm not going to duck and cover. I'm going to prepare. This is empowerment. All right. Oop. That says we don't want to be shuffled anymore. So what else was it that we were going to ask? Let's look at the last here. 6 of Wands, 2 of Swords, 6 of Cups. I don't have a question, so why the hell am I doing this? I don't know. Victory. 2 of Swords, which is usually the denial card. 6 of Cups. Happy memories. Ooh, and we've got some bad memories in the Chariot. And then, I don't know. I didn't have a question. I'm not going to fuck around there. We're after 2 hours already. I'm going to close it down tonight, everybody. All right. Well, come on. There we go. All right. So, thank you so much for hanging out with me this long, you guys. This was a really enjoyable evening. I really needed this, and I didn't expect it to be like this because I came in so... But see what you do for me? See what you do for me? And see what plying my trade does for me. Fulfilling my purpose is like the best thing that I can do. So, I will bid you adieu, farewell, with a little bit of brandy. Go have yourself some moments tonight. And here we go, folks. You know, if we know that disaster is imminent, and let's face it, it always is. We don't know what's going to happen next, ever. You know? But you have to be aware that there's a huge range of possibilities of things that can happen. And the bad is in there with the good. Does that make us stop enjoying life? That should make you enjoy life as it is now even more. Even more. So this summer, whatever comes in the fall, this summer, enjoy it to the absolute fullest. Eat the fucking cherries, man, until you pop. Eat the cherries, have some brandy, and you know what I'm having with my cherries? Dove, frickin' dark, super dark. It's like 82%. Cherries, chocolate, brandy, loving people to hug, wonderful music to listen to. Go watch Bo Burnham, because he's having the same existential crisis I'm having. Go watch him. Enjoy the music. I will see you on Saturday for a prayer circle. Until then, it's the Zen Witch. I love you. Na zdrowie.